But so let's talk about the chapter Life is Strange chapter episode 4, because yeah, I certainly did like this. Now, first of all, we began with a very huge, very good, very impressive, very nice gut punch, which was actually a really heartfelt moment, which probably was the closest I've come to feels in these past few weeks. Now, that is quite an achievement considering my insanity. Let's go with that. So yeah, the episode began really strong, and I like how much darker tone it took and how serious it became and how all around more serious it began and how much everything escalated. I do like that. I do appreciate that, and that certainly is something that played to my my personal preferences quite a bit. Not that they also didn't go to the far extreme of the violence, and they go, well, let's just say that the dark room turned out to be a really dark room. I don't know if you pardon the pun there. But yeah, it was dark. It was really dark, and that's how I like it. This is exactly how I like it. So, yeah, I liked it. I liked the episode quite a bit. This is definitely my favorite episode so far. And yeah, the final reveal, the final twist in the end wasn't all that shocking to me. I mean, it was apparent that Jefferson had something to do in the end. I'm not shocked. I'm not disappointed either, because Nathan still probably has a role to play. Or definitely has a role to play, but I'm just not all that shocked about that. That's not to say that it's a bad reveal. That's not to say that it's a bad twist in and of itself. So, I just saw it coming. Now, I really do like how much serious this all became, and I do like how dark the ending there was, and this was yet another heavy cliffhanger here, which I certainly did like. This is a really heavy cliffhanger. Now, one thing that I am actually a tad bit annoyed about is the thing that Max was able to do, that was to focus in on those photos and use that to time travel. Mostly because they used it, now they have used it twice now, which is definitely, in my opinion, bad. Because that only made it more, that's basically just a really cheap way to buy some emotional reaction out of us. And that's a really cheap way to, like, that is a Deus Ex Machina moment to get, like, a good cliffhanger out of the previous episode. If they turn out to use it in the end, because they could use it, because technically speaking, every picture that they have now taken could be used as a save point for Max to return, and that would create for a very interesting, like, kind of a time traveling story where you could jump from one reality to another, and I would absolutely love that. However, if they don't do that, I'm gonna be sorely disappointed. Well, overall, I'm really rather satisfied with the game itself. However, it does tend to have a very slow pacing, and it tends to drag for quite a long while. This is probably the closest to an interactive movie that I've ever played. That's not to say it's bad, but that it's minimalistic. That there isn't really all that much choices. Now, at the very least, there are some puzzles, and even though those puzzles are simple, I really like their little investigation puzzle there, because it actually wasn't relying on the gimmick of the time travel, but rather it relied solely on your deductive abilities. That is the puzzle, that's the kind of puzzle that I absolutely adore. But I can see that being a bit difficult for some people to figure out, which is completely understandable. It's like, it is a bit hard. But I liked it. I would like more of those puzzles instead of these silly gimmick puzzles with the time traveling mechanic, which are not really hard at all. They're just minor obstacles to make it seem like, give you an illusion of obstacle or difficulty. That's to say that it's more of an interactive experience than a game. That's not to criticize it for that, because it is just a different style of gameplay, to be frank. And I still enjoy it. It's just not the most interactive. It's not like you have a lot of choice and freedom in the game, so it's regrettable, I think. But I still like it, so it has strong points. The characters are pretty good. The voice actors are getting really good at this point, especially Williams. Holy crap, that was a good voice. Yeah, all around good. All around it's pretty good. Could be far better, but could be far worse as well. So it would be a solid 6 out of 10 for me. So now that probably sounds like an insult to the majority of the people, but in my scale, that's a pretty, actually just a medium, very moderate recommendation for it. So yeah, I do like it. Okay.